guys? Welcome back to another episode of Is This Thing On? So, for today's episode, I was kind of like, what do I talk about? Because I feel like I've talked about a lot of random things. I mean, this is my freaking podcast at the end of the day. I can talk about whatever random thing I want to talk about. But, hmm. I've talked about my dating life on here like way too much, but I think I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so we're gonna be talking today about ghosting because it's a very real 21st century phenomenon. I think we've all experienced this, whether we're trying to meet someone, get to know someone, date someone. You find yourself meeting someone and you guys click and you match and you think you're doing great, and then you come to find out that they ain't sliding in those DMs anymore. You know what I'm saying, Felicia? So, why am I talking about this, guys? Well, I can tell you one thing. The reason why I'm talking about this is because, um, so I have a routine where every single day I go walk my dog. Every day. I just have to do it because it's the one thing that's keeping me sane throughout this mess that is quarantine. And so I've been going on walks every single day, more or less around the same time. And it's very relaxing, it's very calm. And even though there's still people on the street, everybody's keeping their distance, everybody's wearing their mask. Am I wearing a mask? No, I'm not, honey. I personally cannot breathe in those things. And my dog tugs and tugs and tugs and tugs me. And sometimes I'm out of breath. And if I have one of those things on, well, I'm not going to be back for another podcast episode now, am I? There you go. So, anyways, that's besides the point. I go on these walks and I see a lot of people. I see people sometimes that I know, I see people that I don't know. I encounter a lot of people because it's a freaking walking biking trail. And so I love it. I love seeing people. I think that especially throughout this time, it's so nice to see people because you just feel like you feel like you're trapped, like you're almost in like a video game simulation. And I don't know, it's just nice to see people outside. I'm a people person. It's nice to see people outside. Of course, stay your 6 feet away from me, but Jim, Pam, let's talk. 6 feet away. Leave room for the Holy Spirit, okay? Um, so about a few months ago, I want to say February. I want to say February, if my memory serves me right. Okay, I'm gonna go with February, maybe even January. January, February. Give me just a second. I'm gonna find out, more or less. Okay. Let's see. Da 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 da. Okay, we're gonna find out, more or less. So how are y'all doing? I am low key, very very low key. Considering getting a Nintendo Switch, just because I feel like, in a way, I'm kind of missing. And let me be very frank here, very very frank. I don't like video games. I've never been one for. I've never been someone for video games, but low key, it looks like a lot of fun to have a Nintendo Switch and play Animal Crossing because I know that's like the big thing right now. Everybody's playing Animal Crossing or Fortnite. I've seen Fortnite, not really my jam. I could probably get into Animal Crossing low key, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth investing. Let me know if you think it is. So, anyways, I looked back at my messages and I more or less pinpoint the time of the event dating all the way back to January. Okay. So, in January, my friend Abby Ronhell, if you're listening to this, love you, girl. Miss you so much. I hope you're doing good. Can't wait to see you when this whole thing is over. Anyways, um, I've been on Bumble before. Let's just be transparent about that. I've used pretty much every dating app. So Abby, my friend, my dear sweet friend Abby, um, was like, "Hey, I can help you with your Bumble profile." So we reactivated my Bumble. She played around with my pictures so that, the right pictures would get I don't know. I was just trying to make my dating profile appealing. Anyways, so she was helping me set up Bumble and whatnot. And of course, she was swiping for me and she was, picking out eligible bachelors, as a friend does. Normally, I don't let my friends choose, but I was like, I trust you. You have good tastes. I think you'll know what I like. So, yeah. So I ended up matching with this guy. For all intents and purposes, because I don't want to get sued, I will never say the person's name unless they cheated on me or something. I'm sorry, I'm name dropping you like that. Anyways, so I matched with this guy. He seemed really, really cool and nice, and he seemed to have like all the qualities that I wanted. So we matched. This guy and I matched, as you do on either Tinder or Bumble or whatever. Bumble's different because in Bumble, the girl makes the first move. And so after that, you know, if you match with someone, they have 24 hours to respond back to you. They don't, well, then I guess you lose your shot. Unless you have Bumble Premium or whatever, which I think it's nonsensical to pay for a dating app, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You don't wanna be lonely. Am I right, Felicia? Anyways, so we matched and we started talking and he seemed so cool. This guy really seemed really like cool, down to earth, nice. He seemed to have his life together. He had an interesting career and he fit like physicality wise, like his physical features, he fit the description for me. He fit the bill. Um and also personality, he also too like he seemed like, you know, cool and stuff. And so, we were texting and stuff. I gave him my number because I was like, I'm gonna get off of Bumble. Like, I was only on Bumble for 1 week. 1 week. Because then I ended up telling my friend Abby, I was like, hey, I still kind of like this other guy. Like, I'm gonna get off of Bumble. She's like, okay. But I ended up matching with this guy and I was still talking to him. Of course. I gave him my number. I was like, hey, here, by the way, I'm gonna delete Bumble, but here's my number here. Just text me. So he was like, okay. So we were texting, we were making conversation. Everything was great. Everything was fine and dandy and whatnot, right? And so, um, you know, we had good conversation all the way up until February. And then out of nowhere, he just doesn't respond anymore. We go from talking day to day, you know, to absolute silence. And I'm going to just say one thing. I've never been in a relationship. I'm going to preface that. But I'm not needy or clingy, and I don't expect the person that I'm dating or talking to text me back all the time. I understand that things happen, that people work, that you might excusez-moi. Hold on. I'm going to get water. Okay. Oh my god, I'm choking on my water. Okay. So, I understand that people, life happens, okay? You know, you got to run to the, you know, you got to run to the store and get some toilet paper. Your grandma needs help feeding her cat. I totally get it. I get it. All right? You don't have to make up excuses. That's the other thing. If you're gonna make an excuse, if you are gonna make him an excuse for not talking to me, then that's petty. Okay? Because you can just tell me that you don't want to talk to me anymore. I won't be offended. I won't feel hurt. Just tell me you don't want to talk to me anymore. Don't just go radio silent on me and expect me to figure out what went wrong. Okay? So, this guy and I we're good. We were making conversation. Everything was fine and dandy up until late February. And then, um, you know, he didn't text me anymore. And I get it. Like, he has a really busy job. He was traveling a lot for work, so I completely get that. But like, you couldn't have sent like a text saying, "Hey, how are you?" Takes like 2 seconds. Anyways, whatever. That's not the point, ladies and gents. So, I've been going on these daily walks with my dog like I've mentioned before. And lo and behold, who do I run into when I'm on these daily walks? But this guy, right? That hasn't texted me since late February. Um and so I'm someone, I'm gonna be real honest here. I do get impatient, and if we haven't talked in a while, like a few weeks or like a month, because I'm a considerate person, I like to text people back. And I like to see how they're doing. I like to check up on them. That's just how I am, okay? Like, I want to know if you're alive, okay? Like, sue me for wanting to find out if you're alive. Anyways, so I see him on these walks with my dog. And one thing to keep in mind when I'm walking my dog or I'm exercising or anything like that, my vision is not very good. It's not great. Like, I have astigmatism, and let me just tell you, I need to go to the eye doctor again and get a new prescription because my eyesight is getting not great. It's not great. We'll just say that. And so, whenever I am exercising or I'm walking or I'm running, I don't tend to notice people too much. I'm in my zone. I'm listening to either a podcast or my music or whatever. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I'm out. Physically I'm there. Mentally I'm zoned out. Okay? So, if someone waves at me or says hi or someone honks at me through their car, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to notice you because one, I'm listening to my music. Two, sometimes I can't hear well because my music is pretty loud. And three, I really don't feel like getting run over. Okay? So, those are the reasons. So, I've been seeing this guy a few times, like several times, as I'm walking my dog. And all he does is look at me and smile and kind of smirk. Well, ladies and gents, last week, last week, okay, last week when I was walking my dog, he finally, like actually finally acknowledged me after not talking to me for months. Cuz he's seen me before. I've seen him and he's seen me. We've made eye contact. He's smirked at me and smiled at me a few times, okay? I know. My vision's bad, but I've seen it, okay? So last week, I'm leaving, obviously. I'm going to the parking lot. I'm going to get my dog and put him in the car. As I'm vacating the park that I was at, cuz there's a park and then there's a walking trail, running trail. Then you get out of the walking trail, biking trail, whatever, and you go to the park, and then you have the parking lot. Anyways, so I'm vacating the premises, I'm vacating the park, like leaving already, and I noticed that he finally looked at me and said, "Hey, how are you doing? That's a nice little dog you have there." And then before I could even really make anything out, he just leaves. Like, he didn't even let me finish my sentence. But he was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, um, how do you expect me to finish that sentence if you literally left right when I was about to talk? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's really, really stupid. And so I get into my car and I'm just absolutely flabbergasted because this guy has ghosted me for months. Keep in mind, he has my number. I have his number. He can text me anytime he wants. And yet, he only acknowledges me for like 10, 15 seconds. Doesn't even let me finish my thought. And so I did text him. I was like, "Hey, is that you?" A few times. And you know what? At this point, I don't have any shame anymore. I double, triple, quadruple text. Like, I don't care anymore. If you don't answer me, I don't care. I'll quadruple text you. I don't really care. All right? That's just my thing. But yeah. So, bottom line is, he ghosted me. He's ghosted me for a few months now, a few weeks. He knows that I'm there. He acknowledges my presence. And yet, nothing. So, I want to know, why do people ghost? Is it because we're not meshing well? Is it because you lost interest in me? You find me boring? Like, your phone died? You lost your phone in Amsterdam or something? Like, what compels people to ghost? Because I know it's a new phenomenon, and in the day old age where we just don't like to communicate, the, the simplest thing we can do is ghost someone. Just like go radio silent on them and absolutely leave them puzzled as heck and wonder what we did wrong. And I'm just going to say out there for all the Felicias listening, or whatever your name is, honey, it's not your fault that he's complacent, that he's a jerk, that he's lazy, that he doesn't want to text you back, or maybe he's just not into you. That is not your fault. Don't go blaming yourself, okay? We don't want to constantly blame ourselves. We shouldn't have to apologize for who we are and for being genuinely interested or concerned for that person, okay? So that's not on you. But my thing is, what is the whole point of ghosting me and then seeing me in public and acknowledging me and knowing that I'm there, but yet you don't say or do anything? You know? That's what leaves me puzzled. So, let's go to Google and find out why people ghost. All right. So, what to do if someone has ghosted you? Let's see. Let's see. Where is this article? Okay, so this article is straight up telling you to just move on, and just get over what this person's doing because they ain't worth it. And you know what? It's true. They're not worth it. What is the point of making a connection, establishing a basic human interaction if they're not giving more than you're taking? Does that make sense? You know, I often ask myself, because I guess I'm a very, very passionate person, and I'm probably going to answer my own question if I ask this, but why do I care so much? Like, I think it's just it might be an insecurity thing, but it also might be that I'm just fixated on what people think about me. And therefore, that translates into how I communicate with people and how much effort I put into them. And I'm going to just say this, I care a lot. I care a lot. I get interested very easily. I get invested very easily. And I don't know. I just like to care for people. Like, I like to love and nurture people. I guess call me a smotherer of emotion. But I like I like to show that I care. And when someone ghosts you, clearly they don't give a crap. And it's just stupid because, again, we end up just blaming ourselves for absolutely everything. And we don't know what's going on the other end. Is what they're doing acceptable? No, it's not. You lost interest in me. You don't want to talk to me anymore. Then just say it. Say it to my face. Because I'm not a mind reader. And I just don't think that it's fair for me to invest time out of my day to text you or call you or like something on Instagram on your page if you're not going to pay attention to me. All right? There's better things I can do with my time. There's so many other things that I could be doing, like recording another podcast episode or possibly considering getting into video games. I don't know at this point. But ghosting sucks. It hurts a little bit. Am I hurt that this person ghosted me? No, I'm not hurt. I'm not. I understand that life happens. I understand that you're busy. I understand that there's a lot of other things you could be doing with your day than to text me. All right? I completely get that. But at the same time, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? 'Cause I'm human. And I still want to hear from you. But yeah, like, why you gotta be like that? Like, if you're listening to this, person that ghosted me, and you know who you are, pretty sure you might listen to this. I feel like you might. Because a huge chunk of people that listen to my podcasts are males. In fact, I think it's about 55% that are males, and then 44% are females, which is kind of crazy that more guys listen to my podcast than girls. But hey, cool. What's up, homie? Yeah. If you're listening to this podcast, dude, what's up? I hope you're doing well. Um, I would have loved to have gotten to know you more, but I understand that life goes on. The wheels keep turning. And yeah. But hey, if you see me when I'm walking my dog, just come say hi like a normal person. Don't do what you did last week and just stop me in my tracks and then not let me and then not even let me finish my sentence. Like it's stupid. But other than that, I think you're a nice guy. I think you're cool. But it just would have been nice if you had at least texted me back saying, "Hey, what's up?" Okay? I'm not crazy. I'm not trying to be petty. I ain't trying to start anything, okay? But I deserve to at least be acknowledged for a few seconds more. Anyways, guys, didn't mean to be a drama queen, but yeah. If you have been ghosted by someone, whether it's on a dating app, whether you guys met through a mutual friend and you hit it off and everything was going fine and dandy and great, and then he just loses interest or he goes completely incognito, find out. Find out what's going on. Do it. Do your research. I mean, if you want to, you shouldn't. You shouldn't go down that spiral. But if it's genuinely bothering you and it's affecting your day-to-day life, I think it's okay to reach out and be like, "Hey, what the heck?" Okay? But there's ways to do it in a civilized manner. And one of those ways is to just shoot them a really casual text. Or if they're comfortable with calls, I guess you could call them or leave them a voicemail. Or you could go back to their Instagram, scroll the furthest back, and just like the crap out of their post. And maybe they'll get the message. Or slide into those DMs. I don't know. Whatever seems fitting for you. In no way am I encouraging Insta stalking. I'm not. But hey, if liking a picture from like 25 weeks ago is gonna provoke a reaction, I mean, you do what you gotta do, boo boo. You do it. If finding out when his grandma's birthday is and asking about his grandma is gonna spark up a conversation, you do it, boo boo. Guys, I'm completely joking, by the way. I am not encouraging you to go complete crazy ex-girlfriend psychomaniac and do all this stuff. Don't do it. It's not healthy behavior. But yeah, guy that ghosted me, if you're listening to this, you're cool, dude. Kind of miss you. But just talk to me, dude. We live in the same town. It's a small town. We're bound to run into each other. Get to know me. All right? Anyways, guys, I'm sorry that was boring. I'm sorry if you've ever been ghosted. I'm sorry. I would like to personally apologize if I've ever ghosted you. Because I didn't mean to. I swear. I'm not a ghoster. Like, if I lose interest in you, I will tell you. But with that said, guys, I hope everybody is still hanging in there, making the most of out of their quarantine, and just keeping a positive mindset. I know it's hard, but we'll get through this together. I'm praying for every single one of you. I'm praying for this world. By the way, interesting question. Is Kim Jong-un dead or not? I'm hearing reports that he's dead. I'm hearing reports that he had complications with his heart surgery. Which of those will it be? If you know the answer, let me know. Or can someone on Twitter just clarify? Because, I don't know, it'd be nice to know. But, anyways, that's. International affairs is not my area of expertise, nor something I should delve into. But I don't know. Twitter is kind of spiraling right now, and I find everything out through Twitter. So if you're on the Twitter, go follow me. Go follow me if you're on Twitter. But yeah, guys, I hope everyone's doing well. I'm praying for you all. I love you all. I want you to guys just be safe. It's getting tough out there, but we will get through this together. By the way, if you didn't already know, because I mention it every frickin' week, but I'm going to mention it again for the people in the back. This podcast has a podcast number. All right? Yes, it does. It's that cool. Because I got really bored. But here's the number for the podcast. It is 956 278 0720. One more time. 956 278 0720. One more time for the people in the back. 956 278 0720. Okay, yeah. So that is the podcast number. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to tell me whether or not Kim Jong-un is alive, you can call that number and leave me a voicemail or a message. You can text that number too as well. So if you, I don't know, if you want advice, if you're curious, whatever it may be, like, just leave it in that number. Did that even make sense? I don't think that even made sense. Whatever. Just leave it there. Leave it there. Any podcast suggestions or whatever, just leave it there. I would love if people would get back to me so that I can start doing like a little advice segment at the end of each episode. Like, that would be so cool. Because I'm pretty good at giving advice for the most part. So I would love to do that. Let me know also if you think I should make a Twitter page for this podcast, and maybe y'all can like comment on what the podcast episode should be about. Also, if you don't feel like calling or any of that stuff, there's also a voice message link in the show notes of each episode. So you can click that link. It'll take you directly to the podcast website, and you can leave a quick little short voice message, little memo. It records it. It's simple. It's quick. It's efficient. I can hear the voice messages, and you may get featured on the next podcast episode. Who knows? If you want to be on my podcast anyways, just hit me up. Slide in my DMs, okay? I will put you on. It's not a big deal, all right? Anyways, with that being said, guys, I love you. Go forth, prosper, and God bless. Bye!